Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Creative Crossover. This is the show where I interview someone working in a creative field and have a conversation with them about what they do, how they do it, and more importantly, why they do it. So before we get into today's show, as we are still just starting off, this is only episode 3, I'm really looking to connect more with you guys. So if you could find me on Twitter, it's at Jack Spedding, which is JAKSBEDDING. Reach out on there, tag some people in that you think would be really good on the podcast and you want to learn a little bit more from, and that'll really help us grow in the coming months. On to today's show, we have Gareth Martindale, who is Creative Director at Sherbert Lemon, who are a Blackpool-based brand strategy design studio. Welcome to Gareth Martindale, Creative Director at Sherbert Lemon. How's it going, Gareth? You okay?
It's going great, mate. Yeah, thanks for calling.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for being on. Can you just give us sort of a brief introduction about yourself and what it is that Sherbert Lemon do, please?
Yeah, sure. I'm the owner and creative director of Sherbert Lemon. Sherbert Lemon is a brand strategy design studio based in Blackpool, and we cover everything graphic design. So that's branding, illustration, web design, and video. Nice
one. Cool. So as always, first round up, we're going to offer a bit of a quick fire round. So I've got a few little questions here. iPhone or Android?
Ooh, iPhone.
iPhone. Goodbye. We've had a lot of people. Well, I've had a lot of people on the last couple of days who've been saying Android for some reason. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah. Design people as well, which I can't understand.
Good God, man.
Yeah, well, not just them. Netflix or YouTube?
Oh, man. Okay. YouTube.
Yep, good choice. Work hard or play hard?
Oh, bit of both. Work hard.
Yep, no, cool, I'd agree. Text or call?
Call.
Cool. Love or money?
Love.
Love. Do you have to say that in case your partner's listening?
All about the love. She could walk in any minute.
Book or audiobook?
Audiobook.
Yeah, cool. Nice one. Have you listened to any good ones recently?
Yeah, do you know what? I go through phases. So I go through times where I'm all about, work and business. And I Google or I go on Instagram and I go for polls and, what do I need to be listening to?
Yeah.
And then, like, for instance, today, I've just downloaded the audio book of Slash from Guns N' Roses.
Okay. Yeah.
So it really differs. But my favourite one that I always go back to is the John Cleese autobiography.
Right. Okay. Yes, I'm not necessarily related to creative, or well, sort of in a way, I guess, but not really.
Yeah, it's weird. Sometimes when I'm working, I want to. It depends. When I'm driving, I find I tend to listen to a lot of sort of podcasts and business type audiobooks.
Yep.
And then when I'm actually working, I'll tend to put something on totally different.
Yeah.
So whether it's just music or just like the John Cleese autobiography.
All right, cool, nice one. So, what would you say is the best thing that you own?
Ooh, the best thing that I own. Well, funny you should say that. For Christmas this year, I was given a new Fender guitar by my wife and daughter. So currently, that's up there on the list.
That'd be. Can you play anything yet? Have you just got the G chord down?
I always have the G chord down, my friend. Do you know what? I learned 16 years ago.
All right.
And every, say, 6 months or so, I pull out a guitar and think I'm half decent.
Yeah.
So the idea of getting it for Christmas is to try and get back into it.
Cool. Last one of the quickfire round. What's the best thing that you don't own?
The best thing that I don't own. I don't know why I thought of this, but a swimming pool.
Swimming pool.
Yeah, I don't know why that popped into my head then, but yeah, a swimming pool.
Cool, nice one. It's something to aim for, I guess.
Absolutely.
Nice one. Cool. So if you could just take me through sort of back all those years, if you don't mind me saying, take me back through your creative journey. Where did it all begin for you?
Okay, so if we're going way back, I'd always wanted to have a job in a creative field. And when I was, I think, about 12, I had a great art teacher. She was absolutely amazing. And then for whatever reason, we had a graphic designer come in as a substitute teacher. I think she was off ill or something like that. And ever since that day, I was absolutely hooked, and I knew graphic design is what I wanted to do. So going forward, that was it. My mind was set. Went through to college, went through to uni, got my first job into digital advertising, then left that to head back to the college that I studied at, and go back there to run a design department and also to do some teaching.
Right, cool.
So that took me through to about 2010. And in 2010, I decided to go freelance. And that, up until recently, has been the sort of Sherbert Lemon journey. I've been a freelance graphic designer, and then in more recent years, it's sort of expanded and exploded really into something a bit bigger.
Yeah, no, that's good. Could you just tell us where the name came from? In my head, I've got it came from a dog. Am I right?
It did.
Yeah,
you're absolutely spot on. Yeah. So one of the jobs when I was one of the classes that I used to teach, I had a student who was trying to, their desire was to leave college and go freelance straight off the bat.
Yeah.
And they had a big concern about making a name for themselves and trying to get their name out there and what's going to make them stand out. And after a little discussion, they was like, right, well, I need to come up with a name. So we were choosing names, and that was that. And I didn't think anything more of it. And then when I decided to go freelance, I thought something very similar. I can't just go to these big companies and say, my name's Gareth, please give me a job.
Yeah.
I need something to sort of stand out. So I thought, well, tell you what, I'll come up with a name. So in a few years, if it does get bigger, it's something more than just me.
Yeah.
And I had a dog at the time called Sherbert, and he was a lemon-coloured basset hound. So the name was born.
Cool, nice one. So I've been looking through your website, and on one of your pages it says, our collaborative approach ensures great ideas come to life while keeping our client's end goal in mind. Can you just tell us a little bit more about that statement? Is collaboration a big part in how you work?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. I think when I first started, in fact, I was talking about this today with someone else, that when I first started becoming a freelancer, I can do it all. I can design, I can come up with the ideas, I can even develop to some degree a website. So I'll do it all.
Yeah. And
then very quickly, I discovered it was not a good idea.
Right. Yeah.
going at it and sort of isolating yourself like that is never a good way to go. So whether say for instance you're designing a website and you can do both, you can design and develop, then all my energy would go into the design side and the development side would suffer.
Yeah.
And I know many developers that have the other problem where it can work but it looks awful.
Yes.
So I think collaborating with people in your field is absolutely amazing, and that's something you need to do, but also a collaboration with the clients as well, and not just going to a client who has a problem and their problem is, I need a new website, and then you take that and disappear.
Yeah. It's
more about finding out what the problem is and how can we solve that together, rather than just is that analogy of you don't go to the doctor and say, I've got this.
Yeah.
The doctor has to, tells you what, you tell them the symptoms, and then the doctor goes, well, it could be this, this, and this. So let's solve it, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah. I'm sure that was just a ramble, but somewhere in there, it made sense in my head.
So take us on the journey that you go with a client. How does it start for you? Is it a phone call? Do you sit there with pen and paper? Is it sort of just sitting in a dark room waiting for ideas to come to you? What's sort of the creative process for you?
Sure. Well, I always like to have a face-to-face with a client if possible.
Yeah.
So it tends to be we'll get an email through. One of those emails is something like, it's very generic. We want a new website, or we want a corporate video, and it's they will have sent out the same email to however many agencies.
Yeah.
So we get in touch with them, hopefully get a face-to-face or at least a phone call. And the first part of the process for me is just listening to everything they have to say, and find out what the problem is, because they may want a corporate video, but that might not be the answer for them.
Yeah.
So by finding out what their issue is and what problem needs solving, it's at that point when you can sort of discuss it. From then, ideas just sort of naturally start flowing. I'll come back and discuss with the team to see what their thoughts are. We have brainstorming sessions, and then once we have a germ of an idea, that's when we start developing and then start presenting to the client.
Cool, nice one. I know you're obviously very active on social media, and you've picked up some quite big clients through your Instagram, such as Gary V. You're working on aspects of his branding for his Spotify and things. So how big of a role does social media play in the marketing of your business now? Is it a big selling factor for you?
Yeah, it's a strange one. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm always one of those people that gets onto something a few years later.
Yep.
Whether it's social media or whether it's like a TV series or something like that, I'm always sort of last behind. But I like to watch and see how things develop. And I was speaking to clients and their use in social media, and in particular Instagram for us is fantastic, because you get to show the work, the finished work, but also you get to show like the progression of your work.
Yes,
and from ideas to the final stage. And from that, I'd probably say maybe even a good sort of 20% of the clients we had last year were purely through social.
Right. Wow.
We do get an awful lot of messages through. Can you please do me a logo?
Yeah.
and it's just like a random guy just wanting a logo. But throughout the year, we have picked up some really good clients.
Nice one. Cool. Just looking through your Instagram, you've got quite a distinctive sort of look to a lot of your work. If I looked at it, I'd be able to tell it was from you guys. You seem to be doing a lot more sort of portraiture-based work as well. I'm just looking at the one that you've done of Casey Neistat. You've obviously done the Gary V ones. Is that sort of a creative choice that you've decided to go that way? Or do you think people are sort of seeking you out because they've seen that kind of work from you in the past?
I think the Gary V thing was that came about purely as initially as a bit of fan art and testing some illustration styles. So we always set aside time throughout the week that is purely just experimenting with different things, and I think it's really healthy to sort of do that, because you can go down a path and just be churning out work, and it becomes exhausting.
Yeah.
So to actually set aside time just to play around is a great thing. And there's lots of sort of portrait artists and illustrators out there that I love and admire their work, especially with that sort of cubist style that we've been working with. So we just decided to go down that route, and it started as a bit of fan art, and then from that, by tagging them in and Gary V's team sort of getting in touch with us to say, can we use it for his Spotify channel? I mean, that was incredible. And then before you know it, other people sort of follow from that. I think Baby Tate was the one we did straight after, because she was an artist on his Spotify playlist.
All right, okay.
And then from then, I think someone who was on tour with her saw her picture, and then we ended up producing the album artwork for them as well.
Price one.
That's right, yeah. So that started off. That was originally a photograph that was going to be used, and by us producing the illustration has then been used for like vinyl artwork, and I think it's going to be in a new music video at some point soon, which is going to be pretty cool.
That's cool. It just shows how producing one nice bit of sort of fan art where you're having a little bit of a play can lead on to a lot of different things, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool. What do you think the future holds? I know you were mentioning before sort of about growing the agency. What's the end goal for you?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? I think the end goal has changed over the years. I think originally it was to have a business that I could call my own,
yep,
and be creative in my own way and do the work that I wanted to do. And by doing that, fortunately, it slowly but surely sort of expanded, and we're able to get larger clients and more clients. And by doing that, the team, starts to grow. So I more of the same. I'd like to sort of keep going, keep growing, and keep working with amazing clients.
Yeah, nice one, cool. Nearly there. What's the one piece of advice that you'll give to people who are sort of trying to get into your space, that are trying to chase their passion?
Oh, okay. I it sounds so cliche, but if you do what you genuinely love, keep at it, and just don't. This is going to be one of those really long-winded, rambling answers, but if it's what you genuinely love, keep at it, and it will happen. Don't produce work for someone because you think that's what everyone's doing on Instagram. Just don't follow trends. Just do it because you believe in it, and then it will work out.
Perfect. That's cool. And lastly, where can people find you online if they want to see your work?
Okay, so our website is sherbertlemonuk.com, and we are on all the social channels, Sherbert Lemon UK. The main one we're sort of active on is Instagram. We have a YouTube channel as well that we keep sort of updating, and hopefully we'll be updating a bit more this month.
Cool.
So yeah.
Right, nice one. Thank you very much for that, Gareth.
You're very welcome. It's been great talking to you.
And that's it for episode 3 of Creative Crossover. I really hope you've enjoyed my interview with Gareth there. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave us a review on iTunes or reach out to either one of us on our social media channels. I am at Jack Spedding, and you can find Gareth at Sherbert Lemon UK. If you could leave us a review on iTunes and tweet about us, that would be absolutely amazing. Bye.